Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Podcast. This is episode 145.
Hello, everyone.
I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne.
And today we're looking into a really interesting interview article. It's one from our own producer, Kurt Robbins.
That's right. It's titled Interviews with Great Technical Writers, Izzy Brotzman, and it was published on October 23rd, 2025.
Now, Izzy Brotzman is a junior technical writer, which might make you think, okay, what's the big deal? But his journey into the field is, well, it's really unconventional.
Yeah, and that path offers some genuinely valuable lessons, I think, especially for technical writers, obviously, but also for IT professionals generally.
Absolutely. So our goal today is really to unpack some of the key insights from this interview. We want to explore why his background and perspective make such a strong case for clarity and definition being, crucial skills in tech today.
Especially with everything changing so fast, like with AI and new development methods.
Exactly. So let's start right at the beginning. The article gives us some fascinating context about his upbringing.
It mentions he was homeschooled within fundamentalist organizations, attending weekly co-ops.
And that environment, combined with something he's open about being ADHD, which is autism and ADHD together.
Right. That combination apparently meant he had to get really, really good at articulating things clearly. When your own thinking or your environment is different, you can't just assume people understand.
You have to be explicit. You have to define your terms, define the situation.
Precisely. And it sounds like that necessity, that need for structure, actually became a kind of strength for him.
A huge strength. He got so good at it that he landed an internship offer at 16. 16.
Wow.
To develop lesson plans.
Yeah.
So, think about the 3 years of solid practical content development experience before he even technically finished high school.
That's incredible. And it connects directly to his motivation, doesn't it? The article says he genuinely loves writing clear instructions because he fundamentally hates bad documentation.
Yeah, he sees good docs as almost a form of stress relief for the user.
Yeah.
He wants to prevent that frustration people feel when they're already stressed trying to figure something out.
And his ADHD perspective really adds another layer to that. He says for someone dealing with things like executive dysfunction, unclear, or rambling instructions are just, well, his words were a recipe for disaster.
That really hits home, I think. It highlights the cognitive load of bad documentation.
It does. He uses that brilliant analogy like, cookbooks that have this huge story, right, when you just need to know how much salt to add.
Yes. Nobody wants the novella mid-task.
Exactly. Users need efficiency. Even if the topic itself is, let's face it, sometimes boring, the instructions have to be efficient.
So he decided to, I love this phrase, min-max himself into technical writing. Basically optimize his skills to meet that need for clarity and efficiency he saw.
Yeah, leveraging his own need for structure and definition to fill a gap he experienced personally. It's quite strategic, actually.
It really reframes technical writing, doesn't it? It's not just about writing. It's about designing efficient, user-focused task flows. It's about structure.
Absolutely. It's about clarity driving usability.
Okay, so that's the foundation. Let's talk about what he's doing now at Iron Mountain. His official job title is quite something.
Oh, yeah. New product development management professional, too.
Rolls right off the tongue.
As he says, it's just a long way of saying technical writer. Which is, pretty relatable industry humor.
Definitely. But the role itself sounds quite substantial. His main job is writing the technical docs for their internal professional services team.
That's right. Specifically for a low-code and a code tool called Insight Designer. So his documentation helps that team build custom solutions for clients.
Okay, so that's complex. He's writing for technical users who are then using this tool to create bespoke things for potentially non-technical end clients. That requires a lot of clarity at different levels.
Exactly. And his scope is wider, too. He apparently reviews documentation and UX content for several other internal platforms as well. Things like their customer portal, policy center.
Digital pathology, too, it mentions. And right now he's focused on content for a new hosting strategy.
So pretty involved across the board. It makes sense, given his drive for definition and clarity, that he'd gravitate towards these complex cross-functional areas.
Yeah, it does. But my favorite bit from this part of the interview was how he describes himself.
The passionate writer and finder of things.
Yes, I love that. He jokes that if he lived back in Paleolithic times, he'd be the one finding the best berries or lizards.
Right. And today in the corporate world, he's finding, innovative ways to streamline things, polish the output, track down the right information.
It's such a great way to think about the value a tech writer brings. It's not just writing, it's that curiosity, that persistence in finding the answers, finding the clarity.
We're like information hunters, really. Connecting the dots between different teams, different silos, that constant learning is key.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Kurt Robbins.
Hi, this is Kurt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the Technical Writing Success Podcast.
Okay, so we were just talking about Izzy Brotzman's role as a finder of things, which I think leads nicely into the next big topic, AI.
Ah, yes, the elephant in the room. For so many industries, including ours, his take on it is,
Well,
nuanced.
very. When asked what you think about AI, he compares it to asking, what do you think about drugs? His point is you absolutely have to define what you mean first.
Which is such a tech writer thing to say, isn't it? Define your terms.
Exactly. He emphasizes that AI highlights the apex importance of understanding rhetorical situations. Context, audience, author, how AI changes that whole equation.
So it's a tool, fundamentally, either good or bad on its own.
Right. But how it's used and which AI you're talking about, like reactive AI versus the limited memory LLMs like ChatGPT, that all matters hugely.
But he does raise some pretty significant ethical flags, doesn't he?
He does. Two main things. First, this risk of platform decay or in-shitification, as Cory Doctorow termed it.
Right, where platforms get worse for users because the focus shifts entirely to maximizing profit, often through aggressive AI implementation without real thought for the user experience.
Yeah, using AI just to cut costs on, say, documentation or support can degrade the quality pretty quickly if you're not careful. It becomes less useful.
A race to the bottom, potentially.
Could be. The second big ethical point he brings up is fair use, especially with generative image AI.
The fact that these models are trained on vast amounts of work created by human artists, often without permission or compensation.
Exactly. He calls the output a simulacrum of humanity's storied history built on that ingested data. It raises huge questions about originality and fairness.
So the takeaway isn't AI bad, but more AI complex. Proceed with caution and critical thinking.
And crucially, it doesn't eliminate the need for human technical writers who handle strategy, ethics, and that all-important definition. If anything, it might make those skills more valuable.
That focus on definition brings us neatly back to product development itself. He has this great term for the early stages, a wiggly venture.
Yes. That initial phase where nobody's quite sure what the thing is yet. Is it a bit or a bob? A trinket or a check?
Love it. That ambiguity is fine for brainstorming, maybe, but it's death in development if it goes on too long.
And that's where he sees the technical writer stepping in. We're naturally good at categorizing, at creating taxonomies. We take the wiggle and help pin it down.
We force definition because we have to document it. We need to know what to call it, how it works, consistently.
Exactly. That need for clear documentation forces decisions early on about component models, about user experience. We act as advocates for the end user, always asking, what are they trying to do?
It's the task flow. How does this actually help someone? That focus forces the necessary clarity.
And to get that clarity, we have to be, as he puts it, the most active runners in cross-functional teams.
So true. We can't just stay in our lane. We're constantly chasing down info from engineering, marketing, UX, sometimes legal.
He uses that funny analogy, getting conflicting answers from everyone, like trying to make sense of Mo, Larry, and Curly, or maybe UX just used Comic Sans for a mock-up.
Huh? We've all been there. We end up driving those cross-functional conversations, sometimes doing those Tokyo Drift-esque maneuvers, just to get alignment on what a feature even is.
We become the consistency engine by forcing those conversations.
Right. We're the glue holding the product narrative together for the user. Which connects to his thoughts on Agile.
Yeah, this was interesting. For him, especially managing ADHD and procrastination, he says the main benefit of Agile is simply visibility.
Visibility makes total sense. He calls Kanbans and well-written Jira stories his saviors.
Because when tasks are broken down, clear, and visible, it cuts through that analysis paralysis that can stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, you know exactly what the next small step is.
And things like daily stand-ups become this ritualized place to catch miscommunications early. Those Mo, Larry, and Curly moments get spotted before they derail things.
So Agile provides structure and visibility, which benefits not just him, but the whole team. Developers see the docs are being handled. Tech writers see what's coming down the pipeline.
And it helps ensure the tech writer is involved early, driving that definition from the start, not just cleaning up messes at the end. It's about integrating clarity into the process itself.
Wow. There's just so much practical wisdom packed into that interview, especially considering he's relatively early in his career. The core message seems to be that technical writing, at its heart, is about driving definition.
Absolutely. In a world full of wiggliness and complexity, the ability to create clarity, to define things precisely, is invaluable. If you can define it clearly, you can build it, document it, and support it effectively.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. Thinking about Izzy's role as a finder of things and a driver of definition. What's one wiggly concept or maybe an undefined process in your own work right now?
Yeah, what's something you could help pin down this week? Forcing that clarity adds huge value.
It really does. Find it, define it, write it down.
That's how you make yourself indispensable.
Thank you for listening to the Technical Writing Success Podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next week.